Hello dear students, welcome to the another video tutorial of mammalian histology. Okay, so in last session we have seen about the histological structure of the arteries, histological structure of the veins, and histological structure of the capillaries. We have seen the structural difference as well as the histological difference in between the arteries with vein, as well as the veins and arteries with the capillary network that are nothing but the arterioles and the venules. Okay, so in this session we will focus on the spleen. So the spleen having a very so much importance in the human body. So as human fetus growing, at that stage also the spleen having the numerous functions and the roles, and after the birth the spleen is going to composition that composite the numerous functions and varying that functional properties after the birth. So in the lymphatic system, the spleen is going to play an important role. So we will see the spleen structure, its histology and its functions in upcoming slide. So the spleen is first sized organ which is located at the left upper quadrant of the abdomen. So as you can see in these pictures, the right bottom picture, that the human physiological or the anatomical location for the spleen. Okay, just under the uh, fifth, sixth and seventh rib. Okay, and you will see in the left upper quadrant in the other picture that will be at your left, that picture showing you the cross section of a human anatomy. Okay, the thoracic cavity, and that abdomen cavity having the in that green highlighted structure in the left upper quadrant. So that is nothing but the spleen, and that spleen is going to play an important role in the body. So we will see one by one what are the roles of the spleen and how that spleen is look like. So the spleen is covered by a layer of visceral peritoneum layer, and underneath the peritoneum is the capsule of the spleen is located, and that capsule is encasting it with the parenchymas. So the capsule of the spleen consists of the dense irregular fibroelastic tissues, such that the dense irregular fibroelastic tissues comprises the spleen structure, and the connective tissues of the capsule, that particular hard or that spleen capsule, so it contains the contractile cells which are called as the myofibroblast, and these myofibroblast cells which contains the property to get contractile cells as well as um, to reduce the rigidity of that particular organ. So by producing a weak contractions of the capsule, the cells help to discharge the blood stored with the spleen into the circulation. So the spleen that having a cavity, so that cavity after the contraction by these cells, that are the myofibroblast and these connective tissues, they are having the property of the contractile cells that containing the stored blood in the spleen, arteries and the venules, so that after the contraction, so that stored blood will thrown out into the blood circulation again. So as you can see, the capsule also allows the spleen to significantly increase in the size when it is necessary. That means it also provides the ability to get expand, and these discharges, that discharges of the blood from the spleen which are stored for some time, that large amount of blood to contribute to the tissues that are the oxygenation, that tissues are get contributed with the oxygenation for this that stored blood, and this like during the physical exercises, so that spleen is working uh, there. So at the level of the hilum, the capsule splits into the several septas, and these septas are called as the tuberculi, which is going to penetrate into the parenchyma of the spleen and the partly divide these tissues. So as you can see, the normal spleen histology, what you are going to see here, the purple lighten structure is nothing but the spleen. So the diaphragmatic surface of the spleen, as you can see in your upper left corner, that from the visual side, okay, and from the back side, that having the various numerous capillaries and the veins, that the portion to enter the blood as well as that portion to out blood from here, that oxygenated blood supply and the deoxygenated blood supply are separated over here. So you will see the posterior, that extremely extremity of the spleen, that the coating, okay, and that superior margins of the spleen to have the grooves in them, okay, and the gastric surfaces of the spleen, that they are having the some secretions, and these gastrosplenic ligaments are also present over here. So the splenic hilum, whereas they are providing the space for the arteries and the veins, and where it is covered by these cartilaginous tissues, and these splenic arteries that are going to store the blood and providing the blood supply for the spleen, and these ligament, that these ligaments for the spleens to have the do not get displaced during the any mechanical injury, or that will be prevented by means of these particular ligaments. So the clonic surfaces of spleen, as you can see, the inferior margins of the spleens, you will see the inferior grooves, okay, and then the cross section you will see at the left down corner, that cross section, that splenic capsule, you will see the which are the separated from which are separate splenic capsules, as you can see in the lobes like kidney, and these trabecular arteries are present over here, that the blood supply is get uh, distributed from these tubercular arteries of the spleen, and these tubercular veins for the collection of the deoxygenated blood, or these after the squeezing of this spleen by some mechanical or these mesenchymal tissues, they are having the property to get contract, and that stored blood in these grooves, that is squeezed out from their spaces, and that are thrown into the again into the blood circulation. So you will see the splenic pulp over here, that are nothing but the like kidney grosses, okay, and that gross structures are seen in the spleen. So there is a presence of the white pulp as well as the red pulp in the spleen. So you will see the various species that are nothing but the that trabeculae are present, that are nothing but the trabeculae are the radiate and the subdivide into the smaller units, which are anastomones to form uh, the connective tissue framework. So there is the two different portions like white pulp as well as the red pulp. So the white pulp of the spleen is made up of the three different compartments. So what are these compartments? The periarterial lymphatic sheath, that are nothing but the pulse. Then the lymphatic follicles will be the second, and third will be the marginal zones. And these are the three compartments which are made up of the whole spleen. And these pulse, that are nothing but the periarterial lymphatic sheaths. These periarterial lymphatic sheaths consist of a central artery over here. That central artery gets surrounded by a sheath of a lymphatic tissues that are nothing but a branch of this splenic artery. So this central artery is the branch of this splenic artery. So the inner layer is mainly composed of the T lymphocytes. So these T lymphocytes and these T or B lymphocytes are the cells of the immune system, and these cells, the inner layer is mainly composed of the T lymphocyte cells. So which is why it is also called the T zone. So that which structures get covered by means of these T lymphocytes, that zone is also known as the T lymphocytes. And the outer layer has a more diverse cellular macrophagy and the containing the T and the B lymphocytes. So T and B lymphocyte cells, you know that the what are the function of the lymphatic cells, that nothing but the macrophagy is the function of the lymphatic cells. And these lymphatic cells or these T lymphocytes or the B lymphocytes are the cell of the immunology or the human system, sorry. So these T and B lymphocytes are plays a very important role in the human body. Okay, so these cells are going to flag specific signals to the macrophages, and macrophages at that time going to conquer the cells, and they are going to digest, okay, that are nothing but the apoptosis. And these particular process are get highlighted by these T and B lymphocytes over the body. So at a particular white pulp region, that are nothing but they are all associated with the these um, WBCs and all these things, okay, which are related to the immunology. Okay, so as you can see in this transverse section of the spleen at the right corner, which is the pinkish structures, and that green highlighted structures are nothing but the white pulp. So these inner layers that are with the they are having that T zone with the uh, T lymphocytes, and the B lymphocytes cells are located over that surfaces. So as you can see, the stain structure of the spleen TS, that having that patches are nothing but that are the patches of the white pulp. Okay, so these are having the very important role in the immune system. So the red pulp, you will see the TS of spleen here, and on the TS of spleen, that all red surface are nothing but the red pulp, which is highlighted in the green color over here. Okay, that red pulp is highlighted with the green color. You will see in this picture that all other than this green and blue, that pinkish structure or the pinkish red, okay, that is nothing but the structure of the red pulp. Okay, so the red pulp is going to occupy the majority of the stromal tissues of the spleen. The all other the stromal tissues of spleen is covered in this red pulp. Okay, so it consists of the cords of the Billenworth and the splenic sinusoids. So these two regions are of the red pulp, and the cords of the Billenworth and the splenic cords that are circular granulations that going to supported by the reticular connective tissues. So these all are the reticular connective tissues which are supporting these Billenworth or the splenic cords. So the appear as a stripes and they consist of the macrophages as well as the plasmocytes and the blood cells over here. So as you can see in these TS, you will see the white pulp. So that highlighted in the that purple color, okay, and all other the pinkish red shade that are nothing but the red pulp, and that red pulp capsules as well as these trabeculae you will see in the grooves. So these center arteriole are located in the white pulp, and that arterioles are providing, as soon as they are providing the blood supply to the spleen, that spleen is going to that white cells are going to uh, get through them, and they are just resetting over there. Okay, and as you can see, the red pulp is consist of the plexus of venous sinuses, which breaks into the anastroming the cords. They are also called as the pulp cords, or they are also called as the cords of the Billroth. The rail pulp also consists the framework of the regular fibers. So the lymphocytes and the erythrocytes and the macrophages are there. So the large number of the erythrocytes in the sinusoid, which gives the red color to this pulp. Okay, then the blood vessels which are present over here, you will see the supplies just below the that red that highlighted in the uh, blue color as well as in the red color, which provides the blood supply. So the arteries are entered in the spleen and the hilum and divide into the branches which entered into this trabeculae to become a trabecular and the interlobular arteries that are also known as the interlobular arteries. So these are in the association with these trabecular branches which with the splenic veins, and after short distances in the trabeculae they follow the separate courses in the splenic pulp. So the arteries get surrounded by the white pulp and the arteries become the central arteries after the that splenic artery is going to merge into the central arteries. So the numerous capillaries and the this nourishment network with the lymphatic tissues are formed over here. Then the size is going to reduce into the loose surrounding coat of the compact lymphatic tissues, so that they are going to entered into the cords of the red pulp over here. So these arteries are point each artery that going to divide into the number of straight branches appear like the bristles, and these brush or these bristles called as the penicillis or the penicillus. Okay, then this pulp is or these pulp penicillary arteries have a thick sheath called as the Schwinger or the shielded sheaths. Okay, and it is well developed in the pig, dog, but poorly developed in the man, so that you will um, not show structures like the kidney, so that the grooves are you will not find over here. So the venous sinuses from the uh, that anastrolosing plexus through the red pulp. So the lining cells are the endothelial cells and called as the littoral cells over here, and that littoral cells are also known as the reticular cells. So the venous sinuses are unite to form a large pulp veins, and that large pulp veins that collecting venules together form the large veins, and they become the trabecular veins in the trabeculae with the unite to form the splenic veins over here. Okay, so the effect of the lymphatic vessels are present in the capsule and the trabeculae. So the spleen has also the supply of non-myelinated nerves in over here. Okay, and as we move forward, the functions of the spleen. Okay, one of the most important functions of the spleen is to the filtration of blood, and this function is mostly due to the unique structures of the blood vessels and the macrophages present in the red pulp over here. So this filtration ability of the spleen is given or is supported by means of these macrophages, and these blood vessels are present into the red pulp. So the macrophages the macrophages phagocytes, and they destroy the erythrocytes and then recycle their iron from the hemoglobin. Okay, so these spleen is also important to get your recycle the iron from the destroyed RBC's hemoglobin. We know that the each RBC having the hemoglobin as their conducting molecule. In them they are having the four sites, okay, for the binding molecules, two for the oxygen and two for the carbon dioxide. So these hemoglobin is purely made up of from the irons, and these iron molecules should be recycled in our body. So the spleen is the factory to get recycle this iron from the hemoglobin or the red blood cells, which red blood cells contains the hemoglobin over here. So during the fetal development, the before the birth, that during the fetal development, the bone marrow is fully developed. The spleen is an important site of the hematopoiesis. Until the bone marrow is get fully developed, so in the uh, developmental stages or that fetal development stages, until your bone marrow and your femur and your ribs do not capable to get this hematopoiesis process. At that time, during your fetal development, this spleen is going to function for the hematopoiesis, or the hematopoiesis occurs in the spleen during the fetal development. So being the largest lymphoid organ, the spleen is the largest lymphoid organ, and spleen is the one of the major site of the initiating uh, the modulating the human responses. All the human responses are modulated by means of the spleen. All the primary human response and the secondary human response you will see in the immunology. So it can detect and present the specific pathogens in the blood, so that the blood supply is given to the spleen, and again that are collected from the spleen. So just your human responses that are given from by the spleen, as the spleen contains the T lymphocytes and the B lymphocytes over here. Okay, so they can generate a human response, the acute human responses. So it can detect and present the specific pathogens on them, like the B lymphocytes and the uh, lymphocytes, or all other the lymphocyte cells. T lymphocytes are having the ability to get present the antigens on them. So the specific antigens and for the specific pathogens and all these things you will see. And this is why some people without the spleen, or some people lacking the spleen, or they remove the spleen, okay, and these some medical conditions in these predisposed for some bacterial infections like pneumonia, they will not get the proper immune responses in these cases, so that some people suffers, that people's lacking the spleen, or they without the spleen, these infections like pneumonia happen over here. So the spleen functions as an organ of blood development during the fetal life is most important, and but after the birth it forms only the lymphocytes and the monocytes. So this is the most important thing, that before birth it going to give the immune responses and all these things, the hematopoiesis occur over the spleen. So the white pulp forms the antibodies. This is also one important feature of the spleen. So in some mammals, it serves as a reservoir of the erythrocytes and the blood. So it serves as a reservoir. After the uh, completion of a life of the RBC, or the that going to stored as a storing go down for these uh, erythrocytes, okay. And one another important function of the spleen is it act as a filtering organ, as I said, and the phagocytic cells remove the foreign particles from here, like foreign particles like bacteria degenerating the leukocytes from here. So these are the some important features and the histology of the spleen. So we will stop here, and we will meet in the next session for the kidneys. Thank you.